Hello and welcome to another session of hands-on implementation of linear regression model. As we already talked about it, that the agenda of this exercise is to get to know how the model polynomial model is actually able to perfectly find the relationship between the input and the output variable. So finally we are ready with all of the functions. Now it's time to get to know how a model is performing, how a model is predicting the relationship between the input and the output. So let me reiterate, we have created a data set. So T1, this X matrix was the input data set we have created, and we are supplying each element of this X matrix to a function, and we have used sine function for this purpose. And after getting the output of the sine function, we have created a matrix which is the Y matrix. Each element of Y matrix has been added with some Gaussian random noise of mean 0 and standard deviation some zero point 0.3 or something, and we have created this matrix. And what we have done, we have added each element of Y matrix with the Gaussian noise matrix, and finally we will find out we have T in place. So if we say that the relationship between X, means element of X, and the T is somewhat sine function, right? If we specifically call Y and X, this Y, this matrix, and X, then the relationship between this is perfectly sine function, because we already know we have created this data by using sine function. We have added this Y with some Gaussian random noise, and we have created T. We already know that the T and X has been created by using some sine function, right, added with some Gaussian noise. We have trained our model by using this X and T, and what we find out, we find out a model which is this Yx. Now what we are trying to get to know, that how our model is predicting, how we our model is getting to know the relationship between X and X and T. We already know that the functionality between T and X is somewhat some sort of sine function, right, because this is how we have created the data. But we will try to train our model, and after training this model we will use same matrix of X. We will supply each element of this X to our model, and we will find out output of the model, right, this Y xw, and we will compare the output of the model with the output of this this X. So let's call the output of the model is sine function. We will supply this matrix of X, each element of matrix of X, to model, and we will create another matrix which is, for example, called output of model, linear regression model. So for each X we will have some m1, m2, and m thing, so mn. And what we will do, we will try to draw graph between m and X, and at the same time Y and X. We already know the relationship between Y and X is somewhat sine function. And for our understanding and to visualize how model is performing, we will draw the same output of W, means model, with respect to X on the same graph, just to get to know how our model is performing. So the very first thing we need to do is to create a function in Python. Let's do it. So let me comment it out. First thing, model, how to create a method in Python, def. Let's call it, right. Every time we need to value of a given X by this model, so we need to supply X to it. So very first thing, let's decide given X, the first argument of this model. Second thing, every time we are we want to use this model, we need to supply trained coefficient matrix. And because we need to create 5 value of the X, and to create 5 value of the X we need to have order of the polynomial, so the third element would be order of poly, right, third argument. This way we are ready to do it. So the very first thing we need to create, we need to create 5 of given X, right, because this is what we need to have every time to get out model output for that specific X, this supplied X, right. So let's call temp phi of given X. How we can get phi value of the given X, we have already decided a formula here. So let's copy it, just call this function, and to call this function we need to supply two different value. One is X, for which we want to find out phi value, phi matrix, and order of the polynomial. So X, we have this given X, just pass it here, and order of the polynomial, we have this one, order of the poly, just pass it here. So we are ready with this phi of X. So now it's time to write down some line of codes to get to know the transpose of w and then dot product of phi. So let's do it. Let's call it output of model, right? And how it would be np dot transpose, because this is thing we need to do. We need to first find out transpose of w, supplied w. What is w? This is trained coefficient, trai, trained coefficient matrix. So transpose is ready. Now we need to find out dot product of transpose and phi. So let's do it. Just cut it. To get out dot product of two matrix, we have np dot dot and supply the matrices. So first thing we need to supply transpose of w, and the second thing we need to supply phi of given x, which is here. We are ready, and as an output of this function, this function we have created, we need to write down third line of code, which is return. And what we need to return? Out of the model, means the output value of the supplied x. Our model is ready. We need to supply each x of this matrix to this model, and we need to find out output of the model. At the end of this step, what we have to do, we have to supply each element to the model, and as a output we need to create another matrix which will m1, m2, m3, and m4. So let's do it. Very first thing, let's call this model output matrix, means m1, m2, m3, and just decide it now, right? And because we need to supply each element of this input matrix x, this one x, and to access each element of this x, we need to use for each loop. So let's do it. For current x value of this matrix in x, means every execution of this loop we will get respective value of x. So what we have to do, we have to supply this x to polynomial model. So let's call temp output of model, let's call it, right, temp output of model. And we need to call this model every time polylinear model. And what we need to pass, we need to pass given x, and in our case this current x is the given x. Just pass it here. Second thing, we need to pass trained coefficient matrix. Okay, so for our data set, the data set which we have, first we need to find out this trained coefficient matrix, means w. So let's call it data set coefficient matrix, right? How we can find this coefficient matrix? We can find this coefficient matrix by using this model, this method w. And we need to supply design matrix of our data set of x and t matrix. So we are already having this t. First thing we need to create design matrix of our training data set by using this x matrix. So let's do it, because every time we need to create this call this w, first we need to have design matrix. So let's call dataset design. How we can create design matrix of our dataset? We have already decided a function. Let's use this function, and we need to supply train x. And in our case, what is train x? This is train x. Let's supply this train x here, right? Sorry, what is the train x? We have x. And second thing we need to supply to this method is order of the polynomial. So let's create another variable, order of model. In first place, let's start with 2. We will increase, and we will try to know how this perform this, the functionality of model is changing as we are changing model, order of the model. So order of the model is 2. So once we will run this line of code, we will be ready with this dataset design matrix. Now we are ready to find out w of the dataset. So let's call this method w, and we need to supply design matrix. We are ready with the design matrix, so just supply it here, apply. And second thing we need to supply is train out, which is t in our case. So by these line of codes, we are ready with the order of the model, we are ready with the design matrix of the model, coefficient matrix of the model. Now we can supply these data to our model itself to find out model response for each of the x values, means this matrix values. Let's do it. We are data set, we already know the polynomial linear regression. We need to supply given x by using for each loop on x. We already have access to the each element of x, we are supplying to it. And the second thing we need to supply trained coefficient matrix, right? And what is trained coefficient matrix? This is trained coefficient matrix for our data set. Just supply it here. And third thing, we need to supply order of the polynomial. We have order of the polynomial here, just supply it. So in first run of this model, this for each loop, we will get output from the model for first element of x. At the same time, for second run, we will getting output of second run. So for each run, what we have to do, we have to get this value, output value, and we need to append this value to this matrix, right? Because at the end of the day, we need to find out this matrix for each value of x. So let's do it. V dot append, we have already a method which is append, and just append this value to it. We are good to go. This is good. If I run this whole code, click F9, our code is running and it is perfectly fine. Let's get it out. We have X, we have T, we have Y, and we have order of polynomial temp out model and model output matrix, this output matrix. So for each X, for each X, we have Y means sine function of the X, and we have T means sine function added with some Gaussian noise, and at the same time we have output of the model also. So let's open this model output matrix. So this is T, this is output of order matrix, and this is how our model is performing. So just close it, because we cannot analyze the data. We need to have something, some sort of diagram or some graph or something, so that we can have we can analyze the data. For analysis purpose, we need to have some graph or something, and we will use matplotlib for this. So first thing we need to do is to import matplotlib. So matplotlib.pyplot, because this is the class we need to work with. All right, as plt, right, and plt dot, let's draw a scattering diagram, and we need to give origin coordinates of the scattering points. So x and y, very first thing we need to do, we need to finding out how x and y are related to each other, x and y, right? Let's do it. Let's give x and y. We already know that the relationship between x and y is sine function, but for our uh, for our understanding, let's run this code. What we are getting, we are getting exactly a sine function, right? Because this is x and this is y, right? Now, because we don't need it, we already know that the relationship between s and y is sine function. We actually need a plotting diagram, not a scattering diagram. Let's do one thing. Let's analyze how x and t are connected each other, and let's color it to green. So if I plot it, plt.show, this is how I will get. Just run it, F9. So our data set is scattering in this way. Relationship between x and t, because t is added with Gaussian noise. This is how our data set are scattering, right? There is some sort of sine function between behind it, but this is what we need to read. We are using this x and t for training our model, right? Let's do one more thing. Let's plt dot plot. Let's plot original function, means x and y. And what was the relationship between x and y? That is exactly sine function. Let's plot it and let's color it to red. This is the original function, means sine function. If I again run this line of code, this is what I'm getting. So red function is the original function, right? Now, because we have this matrix of the, and this matrix is holding output value from the order, from the model. Let's draw a plot diagram by using the data of x, because for input we have x and for output we have model output matrix, right? And let's color it to blue. Let's color it to blue. If I run this code, this is what I'm getting. This is how our model is performing. Original function was sine function, which is red, and model output is some sort of linear function. And why it is linear? Because order of the model is 2. If we go back and if we see how this model, what is this model is, so if we supply m equals to 2, 0, 1 and 2, so we actually have only these two things in our hand, w0 m1x. Because if we go back to the design matrix, this is for each x, because we have 100 different elements right now. For each x, it is creating a row, and this row will be raised to the power 0, x raised to the power 1. And this is exactly what we are doing for model 2. The rows in this design matrix is 2, right? If I increase to 3, and let's see how this model is performing, press F9. So line is somewhat some sort of not perfectly linear, but some sort of non-linear, but it is still not of our use. Model is not perfectly finding, it is not generalizing. Let's do one thing. Let's, yes, if we see it, if we see design matrix of the data set, so as we are increasing order, the column of the design matrix is also increasing. So if we go back to the design matrix, for x raised to the power 0, x raised to the power 1, x raised to the power m minus 1, So for 3 we have 3 different columns. As you can see, the model is 3, and again we have 3 different columns. So model is perfectly fine. Now what we have to do, we have to increase the order of the model, run this line of code, and let's see how this model is performing. So yes, if we see here, model is generalizing very well. Means the red is the sign function, the original function by which we have created this data set, and this red, this blue is the output of the model itself. So we can see model is perfectly finding, with very low amount of error, which we can see right here, right now. So if we go back to the design metrics, so as we are increasing order, the design metrics columns are also increasing. One question come into our mind: what would be the perfect value of this model? So this model value is actually some sort of some sort of art, and we need to decide this value by performing some number of tests, by using some different values of order of the polynomial, and we need to decide a specific value where our model is working very perfectly without any overfitting or something. So what I mean to say by overfitting, if I increase this directly to 11, let's see how this model is performing. So you can see the symmetry of the model is not that much perfect. It is somewhat trying to follow each of the data point, and this is what we call overfitting of the model, and we need to remove this overfitting while we are actually working with the with some sort of machine learning project, and we are using this model, this order and everything. So actually, so if I go back again to the design matrix, then the column of the design matrix is 11, starting from 0 to 10, because it's the column number of columns of the design matrix dependent on the order of the model, right? And this is the order of the model. So this is exactly what we are doing. As you can see, by the analyzing of the data point which we have created by using sign function, so red is the sign function and blue is the output of the model itself, right? And it's actually dependent very well with the order of the model. So by our analysis, 4 was the perfect value of this model, and when we can use this for working with this any sort of output. So I hope you have enjoyed this hands-on session of this. We have created some synthetic data. We got to learn how we can create a model. We can supply different matrices. We are ready to get out the dot product of two different matrices. We can get out now the transpose and the inverse of the matrices. So thank you for watching this video. We will continue the next session, which is classification, in next videos. Happy learning and see you in next video.